In this video, we are going to be breaking down everything 2024 real estate when it comes to the Boise area. We're going to be looking at the entire year. How did it compare to 2023? And what should you expect for 2025? So if you're a Boise area real estate agent or you have clients moving to the Boise area, this is the video for you. Check it out. All right, let's dive in. We're going to be looking at a lot of data. I'm going to go as fast as I possibly can, but let's go ahead and first of all, I've got some numbers pulled up. Let's just look at Ada and Canyon County. So this is, if you're not familiar with the Boise area, it's the Treasure Valley. So from Boise to essentially Caldwell, Middleton area, it's going to include a lot of cities in between. In 2023, we sold 13,061 properties. And in 2024, believe it or not, I don't know what your guess is, or did we sell more or less? We actually sold quite a bit more. We sold 14,357, which is an increase of almost 10% year over year in terms of homes sold. So there's our first statistic. Let's look at some actual numbers, though. Let's look at the guidepost here. What happened to values? In 2022, the average sold price was $609,290. I'll zoom in here for you guys so it's a little bit easier to see. Oops, here we go. Okay, got it zoomed in here. So it was, I moved down to the wrong sheet. There you go. All right. Here's the right sheet. This is all of Ada County specifically. So we've got Canyon County out of this one. This is just Ada County. We sold, the average sold price was $609,290. We actually lost value. Now, did we lose value in 2023? Just so you know, this is showing you the average sold price. It's not necessarily saying your specific home went up or down. It's just saying in 2023, the average price of a home sold went down by 3.1%. So that could mean that a lot of brand new starter homes were selling. It could mean that prices came down. It could be a combination of both. And just to be frank, it was a combination of both. So what happened in 2024? We actually saw an increase of 3.4%. So we're actually back above the average sold price of 2022. So $610,417. Let's go ahead and take a look at our inventory numbers. So now we have an entire year of inventory. And you guys have, watched this for quite a while now. You know that we have seasons here in the Treasure Valley, just like real estate all over has seasons. I've coached some people in the Arizona area, and they sell way more homes in winter. So they actually have a lot more inventory in winter because there's more buyers and buyers out there, so sellers are trying to take advantage of that. And it's the same thing over here, it's just the opposite. We typically see a lot more inventory ramp up in March, April, May. Our inventory peaks in July. Our peak buying typically happens in April, May, June. But our peak inventory typically happens towards the middle of summer. You get a lot of these people that started in March, maybe February, March, April, price their home too high. They just leave it on the market. And then you have more and more and more accumulate. Then, of course, you have the summer sellers, the people that are like, okay, kids are out of school. We can finally list our property. And there is a lot of buying activity. So you can see in December of 2023, we had 501 listings on the market. We ended December 2024, we had 634 listings on the market. So that inventory itself has increased year over year quite a bit. But if you zoom out a little bit and you take a look at what's actually happening in the market, we have 1.3 months worth of supply. Now, I say this all the time, but it's worth mentioning over and over and over, which is, what's a balanced market when it comes to supply? A balanced market would be somewhere between, 5 to 7 months. That's typically considered a balanced market. It means it's not too big of an advantage for buyers. It's not too big of an advantage for sellers. If you get over 7 months supply, that ends up being a very, very strong buyer's market. And then if you get under 5 months of supply, traditionally that's a very strong seller's market. Now, 1.3 months, you'd say that's incredibly strong from a seller's market. You know, I've talked with a number of colleagues and nerds, if you will, that I lovingly call nerds, including myself. And I think our balance market has really shifted quite a bit. I wouldn't say a balanced market in the Boise area is 5 to 7 months. I'd probably say it's more like the 2 to 4 month supply. So we're still in a seller's market in a lot of price points. You get to certain price points and you're actually going to be more in a buyer's market. Like right now, over $2 million, there's 5 months supply. That's probably a buyer's market, even though it would traditionally be a balanced market, just given inventory and what's happening in our local market here, which is why you really, if considering buying or selling, you really want to have an agent that understands what's happening in the market. And I don't mean someone that's sold a couple homes, or even if they've been in the business for 10 years or more and they sell, 5 or 6 homes a year. You need someone that's actually boots on the ground, selling lots and lots of homes every single month so they can see what's changing and shifting. Because if you only sell a home every couple months and you don't realize that now we're negotiating this specific way, as a buyer, you might not get the property you want to buy. And as a seller, you might not get the most amount of money, or the best deal. So it's imperative you interview your agent and make sure they really understand the market. So diving back into the numbers, let's just take a peek here. We've been talking about these months of supply. And of course, if you want to dig in here, you can pause the video, or better yet, you can just email your favorite City of Trees agent, wherever you're watching this comment. Let us know. We'd be happy to share this data with you. You can pick through it. And zooming out even more, I can show you, we actually have this data for Ada County, and then it's broken into different markets. So there's North Boise, Northeast Boise, all the way to Eagle Star, Cuna, Meridian, all the different sections of Meridian. So just so you know, we can kind of really, really dig deep into your specific scenario that you are interested in. So a couple other things I'd want to peek at is, where does our months of supply really start to change here? What markets are we seeing? Essentially, up to about, 1.5 million, you're under 2 months of supply. Now, this is I would consider this a microcosm, or like a very interesting time in the market right now. And the time is because it's December, there's actually way less homes on the market than typical. And the way that we do the absorption rate, we look at the amount of sold homes over the last 12 months, and then we actually divide that into the amount of inventory. We divide it by 12, figure out how many you're selling per month, and then we divide it into the inventory and come up with the months of supply. So if we've sold 12 homes in the last 12 months, we're selling 1 home per month. And then if we have 2 homes on the market, 1 home sells per month, we have 2 months supply. So pretty basic. The challenge is inventory is at the bottom of where it is right now in December, and you're blending sales over the last 12 months. So these are all going to look artificially low, in my opinion. And this is the first time I've seen, over 1 million under 2 months supply in 7-8 months, maybe longer. So just keep that in mind. All right. So we've talked about how we've compared year over year. Let's just take a look at what's happened in terms of negotiating. So this is sold versus the original price, and it's the ratio. So you can see that the lower the price point here, you're getting really close to 100%. I mean, the best you could do, you could do over 100% if you're getting multiple offers and above asking price. But the higher the price point, the more negotiating room you have. And again, this is another critical thing for you to determine, when you're dealing with a real estate professional that has this data, and then they can actually advise you on your specific scenario, how you should negotiate and what's realistic. And you might be thinking, well, hey, Chase, I'm a great negotiator. I'll get whatever I get. Yeah, and you're not typically negotiating directly with the agent, and you're definitely not negotiating directly with the seller if you're the buyer, for example, and vice versa. You're not going to negotiate directly with the party. You're going through, other agents. And just because you might be firm in what you're willing to pay or what you're willing to accept, it doesn't mean you're actually going to get it. So you need someone who's not only going to advocate for you to get the job done. If you have a goal of selling your house, you need someone to help you get your goal accomplished. Which means, they need to be able to stand up to you if you're being unreasonable, just to be blunt. Or, if you're a buyer or seller, right? If you're a seller and you're like, I want $1 million, and they say it's worth 900,000, then you get an offer at 920 grand, and they need to be willing to be like, look, $1 million is out of the question. Here's why. We've got more than what you should get. You need to accept this. You need someone that can really take the reins from you and help you understand what is realistic. And some people don't like that, which is kind of is what it is. But if you're looking to get the most amount of money or the best deal, you need someone who understands this data and can show it to you and logically walk you through why you should be moving forward or not. So very, very, very strongly consider that. Now, let's just take a quick look at new construction. So this is the new construction data over the last 12 months in the top left corner here. We'll zoom in and take a peek. Let's see here. We've got the market trends showing you basically inventory stays pretty steady on the new construction world. Why is that? Well, they're constantly building, right? Their average build time might be 6, 7, 8 months. So if they are, they might be, certain builders will list that property the day they pick up permits. So they haven't even broken ground and they've already got it listed as a to be built or under construction. Some builders wait until the very end to list, but it's why you get a little bit more balanced level of inventory, in my opinion. But you can see that we're actually slightly higher this last month than we were the same time a year ago. You can also see these pending numbers are very high versus the closings. That's because you might see pending deals for, 6, 7 months because they're under contract, maybe with a build job or something else. Now, this is actually really interesting. So take a look at the average sold price in 2022 of almost $700,000. Now, in 2023, it was $624,000, and then in 2024, it's $620,000. So why did it continue to go down? Well, the reason to me is very, very, very simple. It's that these builders want to have success. So they are, just like I said in the beginning, the average sold price is just what homes are selling for. It doesn't mean they're going up or down. I would argue that most of these builders have decided to build, homes that are going to sell faster. So they're looking at these price points that have less inventory, $350,000 to $600,000, for example. You get over this $600,000 mark, you're going to be 3.1 months supply. You get over $800,000, you're 4.4. A lot of those homes that were selling that were making up this $697,000 price in 2022, they were in the $800,000 to $1 million range because you could sell those over and over and over and over again. So that's all I have for you in terms of the year-over-year recaps. I can dig into this stuff, or anyone on my team can dig into this stuff as much as you'd like. If you have questions, reach out. If there's some number you'd like to know, please let us know. So now for some predictions into 2025, I don't have a crystal ball, obviously. What I would tell you is that we are so heavily rate dependent right now. When you see rates dip for even just a moment of time, we're seeing sales pick up very, very, very rapidly. We have a lot of buyers on the fence. We also have a lot of sellers on the fence. These are sellers since 2017, 2018 who wanted to sell, but there wasn't enough homes on the market to go look at. And now they want to sell, but the rate's low, and the current rate to go buy might be higher, and they don't want to trade. At some point, something's going to give, and you're going to have this seller fatigue where they say, I've been in this home 5, 6, 7 years longer than I wanted to. I don't care what rates are. Sell my house. And if that happens and we see an uptick in inventory, I do think the inventory will get absorbed. But there is some risk there. If rates don't come down and inventory rises faster than it did before, that'll be really, really interesting to watch. We could see prices pull back a little bit. If rates do come down in any significance at all, I think They're predicting them right now to be around 6.25 by the end of this year, whereas today they're closer to 7. If we see them come down to 6.25, I think you're going to see a very similar year this year that you did the last 2 years. So pretty balanced market in terms of pricing. I don't think you're going to see prices go crazy up or down. If rates go way down, you're going to see prices go way up. And if there's some sort of black swan event that we cannot predict, then all bets are off. So if you have questions or need help, reach out to us. We'd love to help you answer your questions. If you are considering selling your property, even if it's in the next 12 months, you need to reach out today, because there's a lot of times you can put a little bit of energy and effort in today and make significantly more money tomorrow just by thinking ahead. So reach out to us. We'd love to give you a free listing consultation and tell you exactly what you should do to get the most amount of money for your home. So thank you guys for checking this out, and Happy New Year to you.